Hello, you guys. So, welcome here to our Wellness Wednesdays, created by Push. And today, featuring me. My name is Josephine McGrail, and I'm originally from Denmark, Copenhagen, but I've been here in London for the past sort of 19 years, so quite a while now. Today, we're going to be talking all about the importance of creating positive morning rituals in sort of 5 steps to everyday happiness. This is actually based around an article that I wrote for Yoga Magazine a few years ago. But before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit of a background about how I personally realized that having and creating a positive morning routine was really important in my own life. And it all started out when I got a new boyfriend. So we would get up as one does every single morning and we would go to the station together. Now, the thing was that I was always in a really good mood, really looking forward to my day, really noticing how the birds were singing and, how there was a really nice sense of anticipation in the air about this new day and what it would do. And I realized that my boyfriend was very different. He was much more sort of in work mode and it really made me think about what was so different about our morning experiences. What was it that, made him feel, rushed and, kind of, uncomfortable mood straight away? And why was I so sort of just enjoying and relaxed about the experience? So I decided I wanted to do a little investigation. And these are some of the things that I came up with, and I really hope you're going to enjoy them. So as I said in the beginning, go ahead, grab a pen and a paper. This is a good time for you to just take a little time out and to just check in with where you're at. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the benefits and the importance of having a routine. So a routine, you can imagine, it's almost like a rhythm. When you look at nature, the sun rises at the same time and goes to bed and sets almost at the same time. It has a rhythm. And although that changes throughout the year, because obviously the earth is doing that sort of cyclical movement around the sun, although it changes ever so slightly, even that is a set rhythm. The sun doesn't just get up at like crazy o'clock and go to bed at a weird hour. It happens naturally. And it's the same thing if you've got a pet, like I have a cat, then you will know that the pets are super habitual creatures, right? Like they know exactly when they're due for their breakfast. And, my cat for sure, little Sky, comes and wakes us up every single morning really, really early. But it's kind of the same hour every single day. Even though he doesn't have an alarm clock, so how does he really know? Well, he knows because it's part of him now. He kind of knows that this is what happens. This is when he's supposed to get fed. This is when I'm supposed to come and give him a cuddle. Like, he's so set in his routines. And it's the same thing when we look at someone like Einstein, for instance. So Einstein also really knew how important it was to create some really good routines, to set some really helpful habits. Because what happens is that essentially our brains are wired to look out for us, right? If we understand that just like animals, our brains and our entire bodies are all about feeling safe. So now with this information, every single time you bring in something new to the equation, it means your whole nervous system is on the lookout for danger, going, oh my God, is this safe? By doing this, perhaps do I come into harm's way because I did it in a different way? So when we understand that the brain is always on the lookout for danger, we will also understand that when we're doing something over and over and over again, from experience, we get to understand that we are safe. And that means we're no longer wasting so much energy. And we're no longer in that high drive, and we're no longer having adrenaline rolling like crazy. So Einstein knew this, right? And what he did was he would lay out his clothes every single night before getting up. More often than not, he would wear exactly the same. He would eat at certain times and he'd eat very much exactly what he used to, because he knew that then his nervous system was calm. Then when the nervous system was calm, he was in a clear headspace to create all of these amazing things that he did, to really utilize all of his brain cells, utilize all of his energy to create these amazing inventions that he did, to come up with all these amazing concepts that we're really able to utilize in everyday life, all of us now. So when we understand how important it is for our minds and for our nervous system and for the body and the emotions to really have a routine, perhaps we can start to look a little closer and look at our own routines and look at what's going on and which ones are serving us and which ones are no longer serving us. So I'm just going to quickly mention some of the benefits to having a routine. So number one, massive stress release. Bing, bing, this is good. Number two, we're going to have more energy all over because, as I said, when the body is no longer on the lookout for danger, we can utilize all that energy that you were using, putting it out there. You have it in here instead. So you'll have more energy on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, even spiritually. And you will be more happy. Of course, when you are no longer constantly needing to worry about, hey, what should I be doing at this time? What should I be wearing? What should I be eating? What should I do with my life? When you know what to do at a certain time, you have so much more energy. And that means you feel a sense of purpose. And that means, in general, your energy levels will be higher, which means you will feel happier. Overall, you're going to have way better health. Again, remember, when your body is out of routine, it feels scary. It feels dangerous. Your whole body's on the lookout for danger. And when you're in that heightened state of essentially anxiety of like freeze or flight mode, when that happens, what happens in your body's adrenaline levels goes like boom. And when you're in that space, trust me, healing anything is going to take time. So when we've got those good routines ingrained and implemented and really utilizing those routines in every single day life, we're just going to enjoy better health on all levels, better mental health. And as we know, happy mind means happy body, means happy spirit. So that's a good thing. So overall, there's a sort of a few, there's many, many more benefits of having good routines, but that's just some of it. And then something that I would really like to add in, because I said, we can see routines all around us in the time and the pace that the earth is spinning, how the sun rises and the sun sets, how even a little seed starts to sprout and it knows what month to sprout, and it knows what month to become a fruit or a flower, and it knows which month it needs to sort of retreat its energy and come back into the earth. Apart from that, when we are, something that's very different about us as human beings compared to the animal kingdom, compared to nature in general, the mineral kingdom, plants, etc. What's really different and what really makes us as human beings, I guess, very empowered, we're very lucky, is that we have consciousness. And with consciousness, it means that we have a choice. With consciousness, I mean that part of you that is able to analyze and criticize what's going on around you. So that means we're not solely responding as a reaction to an action. We can actually take time out, and even as it is happening to us with practice, we can take time out and go, hey, is this good for me? Or is this no longer good for me? So that's amazing. When we know that we've got a choice over the situation, we can change habits. We could create things that are better for us and better suited for our current situation. So my lovelies, it says that it takes at least 30 days to change or create a habit. I would personally say I think it takes a little bit longer. But that being said, what I would like you to do now is just take a moment out. We've been in this challenging, transformative situation for quite a while now, right? At least most of us about 4 weeks, depending on where in the world you're living. So what I would like to do right now is to take a look back at the last sort of 4, 5, 3 weeks. And how we can do that is maybe just by closing your eyes and just sort of look back to over that period and just notice what you did every morning. More or less, how was your morning routine? So I'm just going to give you a little moment here to take some time out with your eyes closed. I've got mine eyes closed too. And just looking back now, just generally, what did your morning routine look like? What time did you get up? What did you do? And really be quite specific. Did you get up at lots of different times? Did you do exactly the same thing every morning? Did you have a shower? Did you have a coffee? What took place? Did you do a little meditation? Did you have time with your children, with your family, with your flatmate? Did you get on the phone to someone? How was your morning routine? And then remember, if you can, how that morning routine felt. How did it feel to you doing those things? And really check in. And I know this is a bit different with the eyes closed and all of that, but maybe place your hands, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and just notice, what is your body telling you? How did the last 4 weeks feel every single morning when you woke up? And just be really honest with yourself, because I know personally that the last 4 weeks have been challenging and transformative just alike. So take a moment, just asking yourself, how were my last 4 weeks every morning? How did I feel when I woke up? And what did I do about it? How did I decide to start my day? And then remember what made you feel really good out of those things. And out of those things, what made you feel less good? So looking back to your morning routine, so the last 4 weeks, what felt good and what didn't feel so good. And then take a breath in and take a breath out. And now you can gently blink your eyes open. Well done for doing that, sticking with me, well done. And I would like you to write down all the things that felt good for you. So write those down. And even if it feels really, really simple, like I feel like quite often we think that it's so basic, so we're like, it couldn't possibly help me, but it does. So write down all those things that felt amazing. Maybe some of them is that, your breakfast. So what did you have for breakfast that felt amazing? Or who did you call? Or if you went for a walk, where did you go? If you listened to something like a podcast or something, what was it? So really be really specific. The more specific you can get, the more you're going to get out of this little wellness session today. So really get super specific. So I'm just going to give you a moment to do that. Write down all those things that felt amazing. Also write those things down that didn't feel so good and left you in a kind of weird place. Write down 2 in your not to-do list. Good. And while you're doing that, again, I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about why it's important that we start the beginning of our day out in the right way. And it's really because what we want to do is we want to set the tone for the entire day. It's kind of like placing the foundation stone in a house. And as you know, if you don't get that foundation stone right, the whole house is going to be a bit off, right? And it's the same thing with us. So we can wake up and we can jump out of bed and we can just rush to work. And then you're going to have that feeling the whole day that you're kind of behind, that life is hard and that you kind of have to run and rush to get anything done. It's also going to feel a little bit like there was never time for you. Or we can start the day in a way that feels really nourishing for yourself, in a way where essentially you're saying, yes, thank you, dear universe, I would like you to look after me. And I know that if you want to look after me, and if I want you to look after me, I need to be the one in control here. So I'm going to share some tips and tools that I've personally been using for, well, I'm 34, probably since I was very, very little. And I keep refining them and defining them because that really sets us up in the best possible way to have the best possible day. Think about it like this. Let's take a really simple example. So let's say you set your alarm for 7 o'clock, but you put it on snooze. And it rings again, you put it on snooze. And every time you put it on snooze, it's kind of like you're telling yourself, oh my God, I'm not worthy of having an amazing morning. It's like, oh, I just want to have a little bit longer in bed, although I'm going to be rushing, but it's all right. But you're already having a fight. So right from that beginning moment of your day, you're having a fight. There's resistance. There's a pull. This doesn't feel good. What kind of world is this? It's like, no, I just want to go back to bed. But anyway, finally, after like 3, 5, 4, 6 snoozes where your boyfriend or girlfriend is now also annoyed because they also got pulled in and out of this kind of resistance, weird thing going on. So finally, you're getting up. Now, your partner is a bit annoyed with you already. You're a bit annoyed because you just want to stay resting. You go out, you don't have time for breakfast, you don't even have time to shower, you're just running for the train. You're a little bit late for your train because you snoozed it 5 times. So now, you're a bit annoyed, you're standing there on the tube and someone bumps into you and you get super annoyed because you're like, hey, this is just not okay. And all of this is happening as a roll-on, knock-on effect because this morning you decided to snooze 5 times. Does that make sense? So although you thought you were doing a good thing for yourself, you're saying, hey, I just want a little bit more snooze. I get it. But what happened was because you decided to not get up straight away, it had a knock-on effect on how you were feeling about yourself and how you felt towards your partner. That rolled into how you felt when someone pushed into you on the tube. And now you're getting to work and your boss is like, hey, you're late. And you're like, Mamma mia, what is going on in my life, right? So can you see, by the time we get to 10 a.m., this is not happening. Life doesn't feel good. Okay, so now let's revert. How could we reset? So one of my number 1 tips is to really get up a little bit earlier. So if you're someone who normally, by the way, I run these courses a lot and I always ask out in corporate companies and I'm like, so how long time do you guys have? And most people are like, 20 minutes from waking up to being out the door. If you're someone who's normally a 20-minute person, give yourself an extra half an hour. If you're someone who normally has an hour, give yourself an extra 10 minutes. All I'm saying is make sure you have lots of time in the morning. Because what you want to do is, you kind of want to get into a space where you're almost waking up or even just before the alarm goes off, and just have time to lie there and just breathe. Just sense your body breathing. It takes quite a while for the mind and the body and that other part of you, we can call it the soul, for all of them to connect into the present day, into the here and now, into being awake. For me, being in that really deep state of relaxation, it just takes time. So if you allow yourself that time to really sort of get into body, just noticing how you're feeling, and if you know how you're feeling, then you know what you can do today to make yourself feel better. Does that make sense? Whereas if you're just rushing out of bed and you don't even know how you're feeling, then someone does something or someone does not do something that you would like them to do, and it's going to feel all weird. Whereas if you woke up and you're like, damn, I don't feel good, then I'm not going to call that girlfriend because she's going to drain me, but I'm going to call my mom because she's going to make me feel amazing. Does that make sense? So then you know how you're feeling. And with that knowledge, you can then take charge and make sure that you hang out with the people that are going to make you feel awesome or inspired. You get some really good food in you because you know that if you're eating well, your mental health will be better, your energy levels are going to be better, and you're just going to be a much more nice person to be around, right? Okay, before we head on with more little routines, I just want you to have a think about this, because that's another thing I noticed between me and my partner. He had a routine, which is awesome, but it was a routine just because it had to be done. Does that make sense? So he had a whole plan, but it all had to be done. There was no joy behind it. Whereas instead of calling it a routine, I call it a ritual. So for me, a ritual is something that you enjoy. So go ahead and look at all of those things that made your morning the last 4 weeks feel really amazing. And then write down another little thing saying, this is what I want more of. This is how I want my morning rituals to feel and to look. So write that down, and then just repeat those things that already felt amazing. Write them down, and then just take a little moment, just really imagine that you're doing all of them with joy. Because, there's a real big difference between doing something because it needs to get done, or doing something because you enjoy doing it. So how do we do it? So again, I'm going to go back to some of my tools, but bear in mind that these tools work for me, and I keep fine-tuning them and changing them. So they're not necessarily the perfect tools for you. That's why I keep asking you, look back, what's been good, what's not been so good, look for inspiration in what I'm about to say, but don't take it like, oh, I must have my green juice every morning because that's what Josie does, and apparently she feels amazing. No, forget about the green juice. If you want egg and bacon, go for it. So now, these are some of the things that I do. Number one, like I told you about, get up a little bit earlier. Massive improvement, because when you have time to feel in, sense in, tune in, tap in, know what's going on for you, then you know what to do about it. So that's number one. Number two, ask yourself what's stopping you from doing any of those things that you have on your list that makes you feel amazing in the morning. So remember, for some of you, that's reading the newspaper. For some of you, that's reading a really inspirational book or quote, listening to a podcast, really putting yourself in that really good frequency, because that's really what we're doing. We're putting the foundation stone down, we're tuning in, we're turning on, we're going, this is my day, and I want to be up here, I want to feel like this. I don't want to crawl out of bed and almost not be able to do anything. I want to feel amazing. So really look at those things and ask yourself what's stopping you from doing it. And quite often it's preparation. Sometimes maybe there's certain things you could do the night before to set up so that you know that when you wake up in the morning, your work is already ready. You don't have to be at work like 40 minutes before to get that last thing done, or, maybe put out your clothes, like be like Einstein, so if you can't take inspiration from a genius like that, who can you take inspiration from? So, put out your clothes. Maybe if there's someone you need to talk to, so for instance, if you need to do yoga, for instance, or you want to move your body, which is such a beautiful thing, I know we're all living in tight spaces at the moment and sharing a lot, and maybe speak to some flatmates or the other members of your household and just say, hey guys, it'd be amazing if I could take these, 15, 20 minutes or however long in the living room just to have my mat there and to do my thing, or, just ask yourself, what are the obstacles? What is it that's stopping you from really integrating these beautiful rituals that you already have throughout your mornings, okay? And then really commit to them. And how do we commit to them? What I would invite you to do is start writing a gratitude journal. So write down every single morning after you've had your morning rituals, write down how it made you feel. And it can just be like 2 lines, just really quickly, boom, boom. And then at the end of the day, before you go to bed, just sort of go back and go, oh yeah, how was my day? How did this impact me? So then maybe just add another line, like a third line going, oh, actually my day was like this and this, and I feel like this and this. Just really briefly. If you want it to be even less, then again, just to give you that boost and of confidence and to that encouragement to keep going, just in your gratitude journal, maybe just give yourself a score from 1 to 10. 10 felt, I felt amazing. Number 1, oh my God, I didn't want to get out of bed. So you could keep a little sort of gratitude journal, and with that, gratitude. So number 1, I get up earlier. Number 2, the first thing that I personally do is I thank myself and I thank the world and whatever it is you believe in. You know, if you believe in a higher power, whatever you believe in, God, the universe, give thanks. Honestly, is, you know, I run a whole nother course on it. I cannot tell you the transformative powers of giving thanks. It literally allows you to change your focus from problems and challenges and projections of the futures and worries about the past and anger and fear into a space of abundance, into a space of like, wow, I feel amazing because I already have so much love in my life, because I am in charge of my life. I am looking after myself and my loved ones to the best of my ability. So gratitude is an amazing thing. If you're new to gratitude, what I would recommend is that, again, you wake up those 15 minutes earlier and you just check in how you're feeling. And then immediately within the first sort of minute of being awake, write down in your gratitude journal just 3 things that you're really grateful for. 3 things, whatever it is, and make sure they're meaningful to you. So it can't just be, you know, I don't know what it is. It can't just be, oh, it was a beautiful morning. If that doesn't really have an emotional impact on you, don't write that. But if, oh my God, I'm going to wear my red dress and I love my red dress, if that has meaning to you, like a real emotional impact, then write that down. So write something down that you're really grateful for. My number 1 is like, damn, I'm still alive. I have another day here in this planet. That is amazing. And then I turn over and my boyfriend is there and I'm like, woohoo, success. He's here too. He's still alive too. Amazing. I know it sounds really simple, but these are the things that we take for granted all the time. And the more you can get into that space of constantly repeating to yourself all those things that are already in your life, already beautiful, your radiant health, you know, your loving family, your loving heart, your ability, and your wise mind to look after yourself and others, this is amazing. At these days, your resilience to staying with me here, guys, it's already been 22 minutes. You're still here with me. This is fucking amazing. Sorry, my language. So, you know, there's so many amazing things about you already. That's already in you, who you are, in your heart and in your life. So start writing gratitude every morning. Okay, gorgeous. So something else that I do is I literally poke my head out of the window. And again, sounds so simple. If you've got a little garden, get out there in your nightie, in whatever. Be with nature, feel and sense the elements around you. Sense the sunshine, the sunlight on your face, and even on days where it's gray, remember the sunlight is still up there, just sense it and feel the air around you, feel the ground below you, or for me, it's just my head poking out. Really just take a moment, again, just give thanks. That's not what I do anyway. So I give thanks for this day and for the opportunity to be here and to sort of be the best me I can be. That's how I set myself up. And then I have a shower, but again, it's a ritual. So I have time in the shower and I really enjoy it. Maybe that's not your thing. I'm there with like, you know, salts and body scrubs that I make and cold showers and this and that. Maybe it's not your thing, but if it is, take your time. Especially in these days, you know, I know we don't go out a lot. I know we don't see a lot of people. I'm putting on more makeup than I ever did because I actually enjoy it. I enjoy making myself feel good by, you know, doing something, making myself look good in the best way that I can do. You know, it's just whatever makes you feel good. Take time for it. What else have I got down here? Meditate. So I love to meditate in the morning. Again, just having someone's nourishing voice, really nourishing sound in my ears, you know, giving me a little pep talk or giving me something to focus on, really soothes my heart. It really nourishes my nervous system. So again, if that's for you, meditation is beautiful. There's so many apps out there, Insight Timer, Headspace, Calm, etc., etc. I have lots on my website. You can head over. They're all free. But, you know, see what works for you. Maybe you want to read something inspirational to get you in that good mood, that good feeling. Maybe you want to do some creative writing. That's an amazing thing as well, because I know a lot of people are like, meditation, Josie, what is that about? I just can't. So maybe just creative writing, you know, so beautiful. Just get into that space of allowing something to flow through you before your day gets started. It's like when you take time out just for you in the morning, yeah, you create this little bubble of golden energy that just sticks with you throughout your day, because it's kind of like you've taken this time out, you've had your little morning rituals, you're feeling all good about yourself, you're like, la la la, life is good, I'm in a winning position because you took time out. So you're no longer running, you roll over, you give your boyfriend or your cat or whatever a kiss and you say good morning, and you get up and you enjoy your tea or your coffee, and you walk down the street and you enjoy taking in the space around you and the sound and the light, and you get to the tube station and someone bumps into you and you know what, you go, no worries, how you doing? And I know it's a little bit over the top, but honestly, it really changes your whole energy, your frequency, your vibe. Everything changes when you took that time out just for you. It's like you've got more to give because you started out by refilling your own cup. Does that make sense? So by creating this beautiful morning rituals, this little bubble of golden energy around yourself, you have so much more to give and so much more to be for everyone else. Okie dokie. Maybe do some yoga, do some movement. I don't always do yoga every morning. Quite often I just go for a walk. For me, that feels amazing. But, do what feels good, but allow your body to move. Get that energy flowing, flush that body of like the old energy from the night. Really sort of make a clear cut from the night into the day. And the Tibetan Buddhists, they have this beautiful thing that they have a cup, and just before they go to bed, they turn it upside down. It's a symbol to their mind and their brain to say, okay, I let go of the day. And when they wake up the next day, they flip the cup up, and it's a symbol of going, okay, I'm ready to receive. So maybe if you think of it like that, flip your cup up, receive that good energy, set yourself up for the best day ahead that you can possibly have. Now, if you're someone who is living and self-isolating by yourself at the moment, which is super challenging, seriously, well done, you guys. I know it's not an easy thing. What I would do is really make sure that you engage with someone that lifts your energy the soonest you can in the morning. So again, it could be a podcast, it could be calling a good friend. Maybe you set up a little Zoom call every morning and you guys decide to just have a little morning, you can have a gratitude group. You could do a morning meditation together. You could just Zoom, I'm sure you have a friend who's a yoga teacher, whatever. Join mine, I do yoga every morning. So there's a little community online that you're already connecting with. Like what I can see from teaching myself these mornings, I'm doing this donation only yoga thing, and I have people from all around the world, and that sense that we're all here together really helps to boost and remind all of us that we're not in this together. No one is going through this by themselves. So that's another thing. Okay, lovely. So with this in mind, now all I would like you to do is visualize yourself. So now imagine that you've created that beautiful list, maybe with some of my inputs, maybe you had another idea. If you're someone who's like, Josie, I just don't really have any morning rituals that I feel good about, then get inspired. Hopefully you had some inspiration from me. If you want more inspiration, Google it, or even better, look around in your friend circle, family circle, who is really happy? Those really happy peeps, give them a call and be like, okay, so what's the deal? How do you start your day? And remember, their rituals could be very different from mine, but the main thing is they enjoy it. It's all about the joy. So for some people, that's, having a really beautiful, well-cooked breakfast. I personally don't have breakfast until later in the day, but that's so different, I love my tea in the morning. That's my joy. For some people, that could be like, I go straight onto my motorbike and I go for a long, big ride. Some people are like, you know what, I'm going to go in and I watch something on Netflix straight away. But it gives them that sense of a clear head and a space just for them. So more than anything, lovelies, right now we have an opportunity to reset, to recharge, to be conscious about how we start our day. More than ever before, we have this opportunity now because I know most of us are no longer commuting, right? So that means you've been given an extra hour back in your life in the morning and an hour at night. So really, if you start these new rituals now, then imagine how you're going to feel in 3 weeks, in 1 month, in 2 months, in 6 months, in 1 year. And that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do now. So I would like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now just imagine yourself. So imagine yourself getting up tomorrow morning and doing those things that make you feel so, so good. And notice how your body's responding. Notice how your shoulders are relaxing down and your belly is relaxing. Notice how good it feels to be you as you go about your morning, and notice how good it feels that you told your flatmates or your boyfriend or girlfriend that you needed that time out just for you. And notice how it's kind of like you feel a bit, what is it called in English, a bit smug, a bit like, oh yeah, this feels good. I've got time on my hands just for me. And if you are someone who's self-isolating, notice how good it feels to be in touch via Zoom in the morning with your online community, or calling on WhatsApp or whatever it is, just notice how it feels. If you're outside in your garden, just notice the grass below your feet and this beautiful smell of the fresh air in your lungs through the windows, whatever feels good there. And then, my lovelies, notice how you go about your day, how you've got this radiance about you, this beautiful light, of this energy that is sort of pouring out and in from and to you at all times. And then now see yourself as you stick to this beautiful routine, writing down your gratitude list every morning, writing down before you go to bed how that day felt, because you had set yourself up in the best way. And see yourself how you're going to feel in 30 days from now. In 30 days, if we go back and we run this course again, how you're going to feel. You're going to feel dramatically different. Notice how radiant you are in 30 days, 1 month from now. Notice how healthy you are. Notice how vibrant you are. Notice how good it feels to be you, all the way in the belly. And then notice how you're going to feel in 3 months from now if you keep it up. Really see yourself 3 months from now. Looking back, how has the last 3 months felt? That's it. And then see yourself in 6 months, and do the same in 1 year. So remember, lovelies, the choices we are making here today are shaping our tomorrow. And so it is. And take a deep breath in now, and a deep breath out. And I'd like you to place your hands onto your heart and just take a moment here to really thank yourself for tuning in, turning in, tapping on, and thank everyone else that was here with you on this journey. And also just be on the lookout for new opportunities to create lots more wonderful rituals for the next few days, weeks, months, however long this is going to be. And then stick with it, even when we go back to what we refer to everyday life. Thank you so much, you guys. You can blink your eyes open. If you want to read the full article, you can head on over to my website, josephinemcgrail.com. You can read it on a blog. It's called Why Creating Morning Rituals is Important and 5 Steps to Everyday Happiness. What I would like you to do, and invite you to do, is actually write about how it made you feel doing this little visualization, this realization. Write about how that made you feel, and then sign it and date it and hang it somewhere where you can see it. Allow that to inspire you for the next weeks, months, etc. going forward. If you have any questions, I'm here for you now for the next few moments. You're welcome to just type it over here and I'll go ahead and answer. But if you don't have any questions, then just go out there and have an amazing day. And I look forward to seeing you another time. And just a huge thanks to Push You for inviting me to be here with you guys today. It was a real pleasure. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much love. Any questions, just start to type away. But otherwise, I'll see you soon. Let's just give it another few moments. Oh, everyone is feeling full. No one is wanting to say anything. Is anyone doing anything? I can't see anything. Doesn't look like anyone is saying anything. Okay, I'm just going to say thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. And I'll see you another time. Lots of love, guys. Bye-bye.